You know what I think? I believe the future of migration is not so healthy because of the way countries put restrictions on people coming in for political reasons. For instance, in rich countries, there are many people who don't see any benefits to immigration. They don't want their governments to encourage it. And so governments believe that increasing immigration is an election loser. I think the main reason why there isn't more migration is that the people living in rich countries are so strongly opposed to it.
Okay, I see what you mean, but in my view, the main reason why immigration is unpopular in rich countries is because people think it damages local jobs. You see, an influx of unskilled migrants may drag down the wages of unskilled local people, but not really by that much. Besides, migrants often create employment for locals. A lot of migrants are entrepreneurs, and they start up new businesses. And also, if skills shortages are fixed by bringing in migrants, the local industries do better, and then they can employ more local people.
I agree. And what's more, migrants pick their times to come. They come when their services are wanted and stay away when they are not. They use the migrant grapevine to find out when jobs are drying up, and they know about it several months before government statisticians notice.
Well, I think that attitudes are different these days because people perceive more threats from migrants, threats to their own jobs and threats to their country's security, for example. So it is going to be difficult for people to see the overall economic benefit. This is a fact of life today.
Well, these people need to look at the stats then. If rich countries admitted enough migrants from poor countries to expand their own labour forces by just 3%, the world would be richer, according to one estimate, by $365 billion a year. Completely opening borders would add $39 trillion over 25 years to the global economy. That's an astonishing amount. That is more than 500 times what the rich world spends on foreign aid each year. Migration is the most effective tool for reducing global poverty that we have developed so far.
Wow, that's amazing. But what about the number of migrants who work away from their families? That's got to have a social effect. Isn't that an issue?
There would be a social effect, yes, but the emotional costs of leaving home are much less than they were. A person who left Russia in the 19th century might never see or speak to his family again, but a 21st century migrant can Skype them every day. And people travel much more often, and they travel much more quickly than in the past.
What about all the skilled labour that is lost in the sending countries? Wouldn't more migration reduce the skills base of some countries?
Sure, but when people in poor countries have the prospect of migrating, it encourages them to learn some marketable skills. And then some of these people decide not to migrate after all, so the skills stay in the country. Other people who do go away spend some years abroad and then return home with new skills, new contacts, and a pot of gold to invest. Overall, I believe that the brain drain actually helps poor countries, and it benefits the migrants themselves. If it didn't, they wouldn't leave home.